During the Second World War, the front lines were not only on distant battlefields. For millions of families, the war reached their own homes. Air raids, sabotage, looting, and the fear of invasion turned ordinary neighborhoods into places of constant danger. Homes were no longer just shelters. They became part of the defense. Families had to adapt quickly, and many of the tactics they used still matter today. In this episode of Survival Archives, we explore the forgotten World War II home defense strategies that protected ordinary families when survival truly mattered. World War II showed that even the simplest home could be strengthened. Windows were blacked out to hide light from enemy aircraft. They were also reinforced with tape placed in crisscross patterns. This reduced shattering from nearby explosions and prevented glass from becoming deadly shrapnel. In rural areas, shutters were reinforced with wooden boards or sandbags. Cellars were cleared and repurposed as shelters and secure storage spaces. The lesson was clear. A home should be more than shelter. It should act as a shield. In many wartime areas, civilians had limited access to firearms. Defense relied on layers rather than force. Gardens and yards were arranged to slow intruders. Thorny bushes were planted beneath windows. Wires and obstacles forced movement into predictable paths. Families also created noise traps. Tin cans, metal scraps, or glass were tied to strings to alert them to movement in the dark. These measures were not meant to stop an enemy completely. They were meant to buy time. The same principle still works. Gravel walkways make footsteps impossible to hide. Motion-activated lights reveal movement instantly. Natural barriers discourage access without drawing attention. A layered defense does not need to look like a fortress. It only needs to force a threat to reveal itself early. This idea still applies today. Plywood cut to window size can be stored and quickly installed during emergencies. Sandbags remain inexpensive and effective. They absorb impact and protect vulnerable entry points. Simple preparations made in advance can reduce damage and save lives. What worked 80 years ago still works now. Another forgotten tactic was concealment. Families in threatened areas often made their homes appear unimportant. Curtains stayed drawn. Gardens were left unkempt. Doors and exteriors remained plain. Valuables were hidden beneath floorboards, inside walls, or buried in gardens. Being noticed invited danger. Scene 9. Concealment today. This lesson remains relevant. Visible signs of wealth or preparedness can attract unwanted attention. Supplies should be stored discreetly. Generators should be concealed and quiet. Equipment should not stand out. Sometimes the strongest defense is not being noticed at all. Deterrence over combat firearms were not always available to civilians. Defense focused on deterrence. Doors were reinforced with longer screws and stronger hinges. Boiling water was kept ready. Noise traps warned families before intruders reached the door. Even dogs played an important role. They served as early warning systems long before electronic alarms existed. The goal was delay, not confrontation. Preparedness today requires the same mindset. Practice power outages. Rehearse evacuation plans. Test communication routines. Habits built in calm moments matter most during crisis. The home defense tactics of World War II were not designed by soldiers. They were created by ordinary people facing extraordinary danger, reinforcing homes, layering defenses, sharing vigilance, using concealment, maintaining discipline. These lessons are timeless. Survival has always depended on foresight, cooperation, and calm preparation. This has been Survival Archives, a record of how people endured when survival truly mattered.